All right. I'm just saying something because I've been thinking it for a few days, and I really don't have anyone around here who is of like mind or opinion on this. So even if I did, it's like, how do you find them? So I thought, well, even if I don't find anyone to talk about it with, I can at least say it online, and someone out there. Okay, first back up. I read in a book once. It was a preface to a book, and it said, no matter how crazy something you think or say is, there's going to be someone out there who goes, oh yeah, me too. And so I thought maybe I should say some of these things that no one else thinks and are kind of out there, even if I end up losing a lot of friends because of it. Somebody out there is going to be going through the same thing and go, oh my goodness, I do that. Anyway, what it was is I was talking to my daughter and I was asking her about her family. She's all about family. Family's everything to her. I'm assuming that's what she's being taught. But anyway, so I told her I was going to go get online and work on some indexing. What the heck is indexing, you wonder? Well, if you're Mormon, you're in the group, you're in the crowd, you know what indexing is. What it is, and the word itself makes a lot of sense, because what you're doing is taking handwritten papers, and in the case of the church, of course, family history, so records like death indexes, passenger lists, things that are written by people, and they have flowery penmanship, and nobody can read it. But let alone, you cannot search a document. We used to have problems sending out lists of things to people. And, well, you can have them write things down, but you can't search or send things or print out labels of something. Well, maybe they have software now where you can just scan a document and it picks up the words and it can read it and convert it into text. But anyway, right now people are doing that. My daughter asked me, well, why? Why are you doing it? And I told her, well, it's because I know that I'm looking for things about my family, and I hope that someone out there is finding them because I don't even know who they are. And so I'm looking for names for other people, and I'm filling out these documents and things. Somebody else might be doing a search and looking for somebody. They can't search documents and find things if it's not typed out, so somebody has to type it out, so that's me. I just happened to make a mistake and look, and I saw how white I was. Okay. Anyway, so we're working on that, and then she says, well, so these people aren't part of your family. And I said, well, technically they are, because we are all children of God. And her face lights up, and she's like, oh, yeah. And all families want to be together. Because when she and her brother walk to school, and he goes ahead of her, and if he happens to turn a corner, she starts crying because she says, I can't see him. And then when she sees him again, she gives him a great big hug, and she's so excited to see him. And so she says, well, you better work on that, Mom, because there's people out there that miss their family, and they want to be together, and they can't be together unless you do that. Anyway, so that was my experience, and maybe some of you out there have a similar experience like that. But anyway, the real thing that I was wanting to tell somebody about that was just heartbreaking me was I was working on death indexes. Now, there's a whole lot of things that go on in the world that no one ever knows about and you don't care about, and it doesn't make much of a difference to your life. But as I was sitting down and reading about all these people, it's like I thought, how morbid is this? I started reading about how everybody died. And then I started crying at one part. Now, I don't cry much. But this one family had like 3 children, and they were all under the age of 10. And they all died. And I thought, now there's somebody who needs to be together as a family. Anyway, it just really upset me. They died in a car crash. Now, I didn't even know they had cars back then, but that's what it said. It was a car crash. Did you know they had cars in 1916? Apparently they did. They probably weren't very safe either. You probably didn't have to wear seatbelts, that's for sure. Or if you're a mother, you probably get fed up with the car seats. And it's like, how can you have a car big enough? You have to have a minivan. I have to tell a really quick story. My sister-in-law, she was watching advertisements for a vehicle, and she says, oh, you know, I want one of those. So she says, that's why I'm having kids, because I want one of those vehicles. And I know I can't have one unless I have a reason to have one. Well, I thought that was so funny. I can't even remember exactly. That isn't how she said it. That was how I interpreted what she said. She said it was really cute. It was something like, that is why I'm having kids, because I want that vehicle. And because of car seats, you can't stick. It's like, we used to go on car trips and just have like people piled up. We were in a Cutlass Calais. If you don't know what that is, it's a 4-door car, but it's really small. And we were a 9-person family, and we used to be piled on people's laps. And one time we moved from Michigan to Georgia, and we stopped at Bob Evans for breakfast, and my sister threw up, and my dad was driving the moving van in front of us. And my mom's like, I'm not, and it was really snowy, and my mom says, I'm not going to pull over. So I had to just drive with my sister's throw up in a Bob Evans doggy bag for like a couple of hours until we found somewhere where my dad happened to need gas. And so we pulled over. Now we have text phones, so we can just, phones where we can just send them a message or call, and they have a phone right there, and we say, hey, pull over. We need to pull over. But it wasn't so easy then, so I just sat with my sister's vomit on my lap for a couple of hours. And it left an impression, though. I remember, I'm quite old now, but I remember, another thing really quick. This is getting way too long, but another thing really quick. Yesterday I was walking, maybe it's the day before yesterday, and I saw this girl. She's really young and really cute. And she has blonde hair, so in the distance, it probably looked great to my daughter. My daughter goes, oh, Mom, look, there's an old lady out there. We better get off the sidewalk. We got up close. It was somebody I know, and I said, my daughter told me to watch out because it was an old lady. She goes, yeah, I'm really old. She isn't. She has to be, like, at the oldest, maybe 23, 24. She's not old at all. I wasn't even married until I was 29. I guess I have to each their own. My grandmothers were married at like 17 or 18. But I guess culture and society was different, and the need for it. The reason they got married was different for the reasons I got married.